Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage your host for this very detailed and probably much too long cruise ship cabin tour, Morgan from the Very Unofficial Travel Guides.
Not all Royal Caribbean cruise ship cabins are the same, and today I want to show you why this cabin here on the Brilliance of the Seas might be kind of one of my favorites. I'm Morgan from the Very Unofficial Travel Guides. I've been making travel videos for over 15 years of popular and not so popular tourist destinations to give you a very honest, unofficial look at what it's like to be there. And I also wrote a book called Getting Stitches on a Cruise Ship. Spoiler alert, that really happened to me. It's available on Amazon now. As mentioned, I'm here on the Brilliance of the Seas for a Hawaiian cruise. We started in Honolulu, stopped in Hilo, stopped in Navilivili, saw some volcanoes, walked through a creepy cave, went tubing underground. And now we're on a passage across the Pacific Ocean from the Hawaiian Islands to Vancouver. And I've been very pleasantly surprised here on this ship because honestly, it doesn't look like a Royal Caribbean ship, or at least it doesn't look like the Royal Caribbean ships from nowadays. This is cabin 9644, which is a standard balcony cabin here on the Brilliance of the Seas. And this is the curb appeal. This is the impression that you get when you first enter the cabin. We've actually had some really amazing weather the first couple days of the cruise, and now that we're getting closer to Canada, it's getting kind of overcast. The temperatures are dropping. And actually, this ship is coming from Australia, stopped in the Hawaiian Islands, and is going to Vancouver. From there, it's going up to Alaska, and there are people on the ship who are doing all that as one cruise. The bed, just like all the beds on Royal Caribbean, is super comfortable. I've actually slept really good on this bed, even though there is no place to plug in my fan. No USB or plug-in over here, and no USB or plug-in over here. There's a lot of things I like about this cabin. That's not one of them. There are two North American style plugs here and two European style plugs on this side of this desk area. So I want to draw your attention to the colors and the furnishings here. On my recent cruise on the Independence, I talked about how many Royal Caribbean ships at the moment look exactly the same. You could do one cabin tour and just put a different ship's name on it, and really nobody would know the difference. But the furnishings here are just a little bit different. They stand out a little bit to me, and it seems a little bit more designed and well thought out and less generic and IKEA than the Independence and many of the newer Royal Caribbean ships. This area here has a two-toned wood design, and the colors together just give it something that to me seems a little bit higher quality than the Independence, which I know I keep talking about. As you can see here, this is our cabin on the Independence of the Seas, and something about this lighter wood and sort of just the yellowy and orange and green colors does not appeal to me. I like the look of the older Brilliance of the Seas cabin much better. Please let me know if you prefer the look of the Independence over the Brilliance, and let me know why. By the way, another thing that you can do in this cabin that definitely couldn't do on the Independence of the Seas, I know because my sister and I tried it out, is you can totally close this curtain, which makes like two different cabin spaces in here. So, you know, mom and dad or whoever can be sleeping in this front part, and the kids or whoever else can be sleeping in the back part, and you just have a little bit more privacy. So, you know, if you have this turned into a bed and maybe the kids are sleeping here, mom and dad can be out on the balcony, and it's just a little bit more private and a little bit more secluded in a way. I also feel like the closet space here is a little bit bigger than on the Independence, and it's hard to show you the inside of here just because the hallway is so thin, and then I'm kind of standing in the closet. But I appreciate this center column of cubbies, and then there's like a, for us, his and his side, or a his and her side, or hers and hers, or whatever. It's just nice to have it divided like this, and I get 3 of these, Marcus gets 3, and then he has one side and I have one side. And right behind me is the bathroom door, which is Morgan approved. It is an actual door that's not see-through, it has no holes in it, and it closes all the way, but there is something in here that I don't like. A shower curtain. Is it weird that I'm holding the phone up here to talk to you and you can see my hand and the phone? I don't know, but I want to show you here how small this shower is. Like, that's the whole thing, and you all know I'm a small person. I'm 5'5". I do not have a big old butt. I know that some of you out there watching do have a big old butt, and I am definitely not judging your big old butt. But in the debate between shower cabin and shower curtain, people have written to me in the comments that if you do have a more curvy body, that the curtain is better because the door kind of gets in the way and a curtain allows a little more space. Either way, there is just not a lot of space in here. I mean, look at my size 7 feet, and like, this is how much space Morgan has in this shower. Just gonna try to show you like this. It's really not a lot. In fact, I think when I did that sailboat adventure, I think even my shower on the sailboat was bigger than this. And otherwise, this is the space that you have. This side of the mirror does not open up. This side does open and has cubbies in it. Looks like that. And now let's take a look out on the balcony. I'm sorry that it's kind of dreary outside. I'm sure when you cruise, it's going to be warm and sunny. Even if you're cruising to Alaska, I promise you're going to have like 75 degrees and sun. But even though this is a standard balcony cabin, this is also more balcony space than on other Royal Caribbean ships, especially the new ones, and I do appreciate a tall table rather than just like the little end table that you get on many other ships. One interesting thing that both Marcus and I noted was there's no way to make adjoining balconies on this ship, at least not with these cabins. Usually there's a way to fold part of this wall open so that if you know the people in the cabin next to you, you can sort of have a balcony together. We do have a connecting door here that would go to the other cabin, and it's kind of nice to have it there instead of here where it often is. But as far as possibilities to join the cabins by the balcony, you do not have those, at least not in these cabins on Brilliance of the Seas. How do you like this? Like I said, I think from space and layout, it is very similar to all Royal Caribbean ships and many cruise ships at the moment. It's more about the design and the furnishings that make me appreciate this a little bit more than many of the other Royal Caribbean ships, including the Independence of the Seas, which was my last cruise on Royal Caribbean. I'm gonna let you in on a little secret right here. If you've watched to the end of this video, you'll know this. And if you are following me on patreon.com/veryunofficial, you will also already know this, but I do have another cruise booked before the end of this year, and it's going to be kind of special. It'll be on a ship that I have not yet cruised with, and actually nobody has cruised with it as of today.
What ship could it be?
Sign in or sign up to your Patreon account if you want to know what that is, or just subscribe and check back in the next couple of weeks or months, because I will be, of course, making videos of that adventure as well. Thank you for subscribing to the Very Unofficial Travel Guides. Thanks for that thumbs up that you just gave me. You did, right? And I hope to see you back here soon on the Very Unofficial Travel Guides. Bye-bye. By the way, I have a random question for you. When you're cruising or staying in a hotel, do you also have like an area of the room or the couch that becomes like kind of a whatever area where you just kind of put everything that you sort of need but don't really need but don't know where else to put it? Let me know in the comments if you also have a whatever area.